Yes, like it says here, do a little pre-show before the actual timeline here. Couple minutes. Hey, Super Duty, Pete Dog, Mr. Warmke, how you doing? If I get a cow here. We're just getting things ready here. You know, little preparation, as it were. Going to make things nice and kind of a little bit organized, hopefully. We are in Fort Worth, Texas today. Well, all this week, all this weekend. Let's put it that way. Made our delivery Friday down south a ways in Houston. Then we got 2 loads assigned to us. And we got the first one picked up in Seguin, Texas. We got a John Deere 460M baler, which basically, like it says, bales hay and whatnot. So we got that on the truck, and we were trying to get over to get a second load on the truck as well, but that failed due to the fact that it was first I was told it was a repo. Then it turns out it was actually a stolen piece of equipment that I was just going to pick up and return to the rightful owners. But either way, couldn't pick it up. Here. So we were told by the shipper that the load was not going to happen, and of course miscommunication left and right and upside down, and one hand wasn't telling the other one what was going on, period. So a bit of rigmarole, and blah, 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 blah. Things just didn't work out as well as they could have. So we are still here in Fort Worth, because even though the load was canceled, I was told by my manager to simply sit around and wait the weekend to see if the load is able to get picked up. And so here we wait. So a load that may or may not exist is being waited on, and there ain't much more we can do about that. So, all right, let's go ahead and get the All right. Well, here we are again. Thanks to the miracle of contracts and me, the end consumer, buying a service from a company who buys their product from a company which buys that product from the original company. Somewhere in there, contract lost. L. Margaret, Mother F. Trucker. Yeah, Hurry Up and Wait is the least favorite game. But as per always, it's a game of telephone and things missing and blah, 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 blah. But, okay, so, but like I said, so I purchased from one company who purchased from another company who gets it from the original company, and somewhere in there, a contract fell apart or something happened that prevented my company from getting the service, which prevents me from getting the service, and I had to make an adjustment. So we are getting service again. I got a new SIM card, which allows me now to do this. And Christina right there, we are making stir-fry. Like it says right on the screen there. So this is the winner. Let's see, do I have it right here? I think I have it right here. Yeah, here we go. Here's the list of people who voted. All right, so let me pull up my my notes here real quick. Blah blah blah, so I can read off what's actually going on here. Dinner. I didn't write it down. I didn't write it down. Well, okay, never mind. But we all know. Okay, actually, let me pull it up here. I can do it here just as easily. Yeah, here. So, number one, stir fry with rice. The rice is finished and cooking here, so that'll be done in a minute. Number two, barbecue sandwiches, coleslaw, and French fries. Number three, pan-fried chicken, egg noodles, and veg, and some kind of a gravy or sauce to go with that. Number four, steak, baked potato, and a vegetable. Whatever. Of course, with a nice sauce with that as well, and all the fixings for the baked potato. Or five, a dinner or a breakfast for dinner type thing, a Western omelet, hash brown with bacon or sausage. So, number one got 5 votes. So Abe Giesbrecht, S. Banks, Rudy Sittig, Rhonda Brogdon, Gudry, apologize if I'm butchering that, Connie Cox Cummings, all voted for number one. Margaret Clark, the only one who voted for number two. Number three, Carol Spalmer and Melanie Elizabeth. Number four, Debbie Harbour and Bonnie Marie Kilgore. And number five, Jennifer Bells. And those are our votes. And of course, number one, the easiest thing to fix. Hey, Truck Girl Kiana, how you doing? The Portuguese Trucker. Arriving soon in Florida. Wow, we're a little bit west of you. We're over here in Texas tonight in Fort Worth. Linda Barker, how you doing? Mr. Ross Romes. And it's too late now. We've already started Mr. Ross Romes. Well, Truck Girl Kiana, I hope you definitely start feeling better. And hopefully give you a little bit of a laugh with how bad I do this. We'll see. So, we got our Instapot right here. We got our rice already started because, just one of them things. How many times can you see me make rice? So it's easier just to go ahead and do it and be done with it. You got the little knob back here. Release the pressure. All that steam's going to come out. So we are good to go. And we got a bit of things to go with dinner here. We got some pork and vegetable dumpling, what Japanese will call gyoza. A lot of people will call these pot stickers. But we got some of these. We're going to steam some of these, which is not, not too bad of a thing to do. Find my accoutrement here. Well, Portuguese trucker, I hope that you have a good thing planned for the menu tonight. Like I said, this show is basically for the audience to vote and select what they want to see and how they want to see it, or within certain parameters of what I can do. So we're going to start first with the pot stickers, because steaming takes a little bit more time, but not too bad. So we got our nice little 8-inch wok. This is what we're going to be using. We're going to use another one of these in a little bit to actually do the stir fry. And we're going to get our, pardon me, we're going to go up here. I forgot to get this down. We got our bamboo steamer. Now, unfortunately, I need to get like a toothpick because the little bottom here, the little bamboo pin in here broke, but it'll suffice. So that's going to sit right in there just like that. Boil the water, steam comes up and steams our pot stickers, our gyoza. Then we can pan fry them if we want, or we can eat them just steamed. I can do either way, so not a problem. I'm going to take, and I love these things fried more than I like them steamed, but we're going to, let's see, we'll just do 5 of them for right now. I got 5 of them left for another meal. Let's let those thaw up in here a little bit. Just get everything else into the refrigerator. Put the little lid on. The steam will come through the pan, go through the holes in the bottom. Do it. Simple, simple, simple. So we're going to get that fired up. Let that do its thing. So we're just going to get a good amount of water in there, and it's going to provide a little bit of pressure on there, atmospheric pressure, to keep that in, so we are good to go. So the rice is done, so we're just going to leave the lid on that so it stays nice and hot, keep that moisture in there a little bit. I'm going to just close that vent down. So, but let's go through some of the other stuff we're going to do. So we got some pot stickers here. So we're going to let that do its thing. Ingredients, we got some soy sauce. I don't have any more regular oil. I have butter. I have bacon for some fat. I have ghee, plus a little bit of olive oil. So we're just going to use a little bit of olive oil. Not a lot, just enough to get the frying process started. Some black pepper. Some red pepper flake. We got a bit of bok choy. We're going to cut that up. We're going to use a bit of chicken. You can use beef, shrimp, pork, abalone, whatever you can really find. And besides the bok choy here, we got some water chestnut. We got a bit of bean sprouts, some carrot, so nice color. We got some green onion and some yellow onion. Now, there's other things you can put in there. I mean, I could have done a little bit more shopping, but there you go. Hey there, Roland Keith, all the way from beautiful Australia. And of course, I have to butcher the accent. It wouldn't be proper if I didn't butcher somebody's accent. So we're gonna while the gyoza, little pork and vegetable dumplings steam. You pull that away from that over there. While that steams up a little bit and cooks through, gets all nice and hot. We're gonna go ahead and prepare all of our other ingredients here. Stick that up there. Which is, what the French and professional chef will call mise en place. Everything in its place. Things put in place. The actual French definition is not need to be 100% accurate, but that's basically what it means. Get everything ready first, then you cook. So everything cut, all the seasonings laid out, everything put out in the order you're going to use it so you can easily get to it. Bing, bang, boom. Done a lot faster. So what we are going to get ourselves ready, because that is also a feature of stir frying, as well. Just everything is already pre-cut. Everything is already done. You throw everything in the pan almost at once, and you just quickly fry it up and throw it on top of rice or noodles or whatever you're doing, and throw your seasoning in, and it comes out fast, it comes out hot, and you don't need anything more than that. Which makes this an easy dish for anybody to use. So, we got a big old bowl here just to, put everything back into once we're ready to cook. And then, like I said, we'll throw our chicken in, get that cooked through. Then we'll throw our vegetables in. We'll throw our spices in. We'll plate it all up. Good to go. So we got a spoon to stir with. We got a spatula for the rice. We got a decent knife to cut our vegetables. Got a nice little peeler here for our carrot. Move this out the way here a little bit. I was going to get my steel here. So this is something called a steel, S-T-E-E-L, and it is just to help maintain the actual cutting edge of your knife. So you hold the steel in one hand, nice good firm grip. The blade is at an angle, and you maintain that angle on both sides. And what you're doing here, you are not sharpening the knife. You are making sure that very fine edge that does the cutting is perfectly centered on that blade. That's what a steel does. It is not meant to sharpen. It is to maintain the sharpness, which in turn, like I've said it before, it is simply a sharp knife is safer to use than a dull knife. Less force cutting, less chance of it slipping, and if it does slip and cut, it's going to give you a nice clean cut on your hand, leg, or whatnot. It's going to be easier to heal. It does less damage. It's going to be less painful. How would I cook if I had a 12-volt cooking options? Well, as I have never had that, I never had to deal with that. I've always had an inverter of some kind. There's very little I would actually change. It's more about the timing of your food. You have to be a lot more precise with 12 volt because the temperatures are typically lower. The times you need to cook are greater, so your precision actually goes up. You have to be more precise in order to get things done. The pieces of food that you cut need to be a little bit smaller. Now, if I had been forced to do so, I would either have bought a generator to give me electrical power at 120 volts, 240 volts, whatever it be, with good amperage, so I could actually cook, in a halfway decent way. Or I would have bought butane or a propane stove and cooked that way. So there are ways around it, charcoal, butane, sterno, propane. Those are all ways I would go in order to get that. Like I said, buying a generator with an inverter built in, so I could run that cord inside and do something with. I would find a way to be able to give me the ability to cook the way I want to cook. Because like I've said multiple times, there is, in order for me to live in the truck, I have to have certain things. It's not money. Money is probably the lowest thing that I ever worry about. It's quality of life. It's how much well-being I'm getting. And being able to have this quote-unquote luxury of being able to cook as I see fit, that's a bigger deal to me than the amount of food. Hey, Wanda White and Salty Dog, how you doing? Glad to come in. Looks like I said, simple meat today. So we get some pot stickers here. Now, so we're steaming those to get those warmed through. We're going to prep our vegetables and our beef on our meat here. So I need an actual bowl for our chicken, because we're going to do a little bit here. Let me stick that knife out the way real quick. Forgot to grab one thing here. Like I said, the biggest issue most of the time is not, what tools I have. It's oftentimes just having an amount of time to get things done. Sometimes that's Of course, it's all the way in the back, and I forgot to get it. Got a cornstarch. That is definitely going to affect, the way this chicken comes out. All right. Like I said, having the ability to do something is sometimes the most important thing. Having the desire to cook, and I was having a discussion with a gentleman on Facebook, one of the cooking groups on Facebook that I am a member of, where I post a lot of my cooking pictures and put the announcement for the videos on there. So, but we were having a discussion, and I posted a picture about having dirty dishes after I ate, and I put on there my opinion was that if you're not cooking, you're not making a mess, and you're using paper plates and forks and bag liners, and you're not really cooking, you're not really cooking. My opinion, and I definitely put that on there. But that's part of the thing, it's what do you want from your time on the road? What do you want to, how do you want to live the life? And I will make the time to cook. And again, I understand that, I am a flatbedder. I do heavy haul. I am always under curfews and permit times, and I can't drive through this city at this time with this load. I can't go between sun up and sundown, or sundown to sun up. I can't drive at night. I can't do this. I can't do that. I always have, I have to meet with escorts. I have to run certain routes. And that does That does cause some, gives me a little bit more time. But even when I did do van, when I was making local deliveries, out of Indianapolis or out of Kearney, New Jersey, when I was, or out of Tennessee, or Kentucky. But I always made the time to cook because I love to cook. I enjoy the process of cooking. Even the cleaning up, I take it as something that is part of the entirety of it. So, like I've said before, it's not just about saving the money. That's a minor benefit that I get out of it. I get what I want, when I want, how I want. I can get this from a store. Some Chinese place can make this, or the Golden Panda or whatever it is, Panda Express. Some other place can make this, but they're going to make it their way, and that's the thing that I don't like. Number one reason why I don't like eating out a lot, because they're going to make it to their specifications, not mine. And I don't smoke, I don't drink, don't do drugs, never have, never will. I take great pleasure in my food. And, I can't blame anybody for not having the time or the desire or the ability to do this. But, like I said, it's one of the things that I enjoy doing. Some guys out there, they break out the Xbox or the computer or the PlayStation. They play video games. I don't have time for that. But this is something that makes it a lot easier for me to live. So this is what I do. All right, so yeah, the liners in the slow cooker, an excellent way to reduce the mess. But I just use the let me see here, the little Clorox disinfecting wipes. Zip, zap, zoom, bang, done. It doesn't really cost that much more to do it that way. It's faster. It's not instantaneously, but instantaneous. I let the pan or pot cool down, wipe it out, wipe it off with a cotton towel, put it away. And some people do that. I do not have a microwave. I do not have the trendy thing now is the Galan's microwave, air fryer, little convection oven thing. I don't have one. I do have a pasta maker. I don't think any other truck driver has a pasta maker. I do a lot of things that most truck drivers won't do. I'll make my own butter in the truck, which I may do a video on that. I would prefer to make my own butter. I like the Kerrygold, which I have in the refrigerator, but if I could do it myself, I prefer to do it myself. All right, so here we go. So a little bit of chicken here. We got a bowl for it right here. So those are steaming up nice and neatly. So we got a nice sharp knife. So we're going to take this chicken breast here, which I'm not a big fan of chicken breast. Chicken thighs I prefer, but there you go. So we're going to get these pieces rather small. So we're going to cut this the entire length there. There. That little bit of chicken fat, we are not going to waste that. We're going to eat that. Yep. Sorry, friend, but I'm going to have to tell you no right now. So we're going to slice that nice and small. Nice, maybe 1/8 of an inch thick. I'm just going to do that like that. All this is going to sit right there. The second piece. Now this is normally enough chicken for 2 people, but whilst Christina is back in Atlanta, taking care of a few things that she needs to take care of. I'm here by myself, and I'm going to pig out with a full breast here. So we're going to take that, put that right there. So we're going to stick that right there for a moment. And everybody's seen me do this before, so no big deal. Just going to take that off there, stick that on the ground, I guess. And just a quick cleaning. And be careful when you are using a knife near your hands, especially near the blade. Know what you're doing. If you're not confident in using the blade and using a knife, use the sponge near the edge. Quick clean up here. Not so much in my case because I'm worried about, salmonella or anything like that. That's an incredibly small thing to worry about, in my opinion. You just got to be somewhat neat. You just can't let it sit out forever. TJ Jones, the Bull of the Woods. How you doing, sir? And TJ, I got to say, your latest profile picture that you put up on Facebook, it definitely looks just like you. Bulging eyes and everything. Kinley Truck Stop. Well, the thing is, with any sort of animal protein, the flesh, the more that muscle works, the more nutrients is in it. Chicken breast has very little nutrients compared to a thigh that's half the size of it. The breast is a little more tender, typically a little bit more, just more flesh. So, people want, ooh, I'm getting more bang for the buck. But at the same time, it's just not my speed. I mean, I want the flavor to be there, and thighs are just one of those cuts, one of them pieces that I prefer to have. All right, so we're going to take our pot stickers here, water and all. We're going to set that on the floor. I put a towel on the floor so that hot pan does not burn or melt the plastic carpeting that's on the floor. That cotton towel will insulate that, basically be a trivet. Got to watch out for that. Make sure we're not doing anything too wacky. Because we're going to stick that knife out the way a little bit so we don't have it falling over place. So we're going to take, gotta get a spoon. We're going to take our chicken breast here. Yeah, sorry about that, Margaret. Always fun with the, take a little bit of cornstarch. Just a touch here. Take that out the way. We got a bit of black pepper. Now this is going to affect the texture of the chicken on the outside. We're going to take just one little bit of that. All right. It's a touch of soy sauce, just a touch. To provide salt, provide flavor, a little bit of color, but also to moisten the cornstarch here. So we're just going to move around with our hand there to mix this up. It doesn't hurt to be in contact with your food. Cooking is one of those things that is almost singularly human. It's not, there's other creatures that quote unquote cook, but not to the extent that we do. They don't use chemistry intentionally. They don't use heat intentionally. They'll use fermentation to cook. But human beings, we do something with cooking that just doesn't occur with almost any other creature. Grab a towel here for wipe my hands on. So we're going to set the chicken aside here for a moment. Over there we go. And we're going to take the rest of our vegetables here. First, our bok choy here, because a little bit dirty. So we're going to take that out there. Set that one there. Get another clean towel up here. And you can see a little bit of dirt on there, which it's soil. There's a lot of good bacteria in soil. It's not bad for you to have a little bit of dirt in your food. It's not something that a lot of people do nowadays, because most people, unfortunately, especially in the city, especially in cities in the modern world, they think you need all kinds of refrigeration, and if you leave food out at room temperature, it's going to kill you, whatnot. So, if it's not 100% pristine, it's not good for you, blah, blah, blah. So we're going to cut this bok choy lengthwise there. We took a bit of the tip off, where it's going to be a little bit tougher. We trimmed the top of the green part off. We split this lengthwise. Now this has a bit of a, I don't want to say gummy, but sort of a little bit of chewiness, a little bit of a gumminess to it, if you understand my meaning. We're going to take these, we're going to set that in there. Get the other one here. And you can see the soil there. I mean, I had setting a little bit of water to dissolve some of that there. I'm just going to wipe that down. I mean, I don't want to taste soil, but if a little bit gets in there, I'm not upset. I'd rather have good, honest, soil-covered vegetables that I grew myself in my own garden, which unfortunately I can't do right now. Just going to slice that all the way long ways, make the piece just a little bit smaller. And knowing where it's been, then getting it from the local grocery store, and not knowing what farm it came from, what their practices were, what the soil was like, what they did to grow it and ship it and maintain it and all that jazz. Okay, so a little bit of carrot, and I could take the outer skin of this off, which can impart flavor I don't want to have and color I don't want to have. Getting past that outer skin that's oxidized, I could use the knife to do that, but good old vegetable peeler does perfectly good. And it just makes life so much easier. And a lot of truck drivers will not have that. And I am not a big fan of the new ergonomic design ones. For some reason, they just don't seem to work as efficiently for me. So we got a bit of a carrot, and we're going to cut this carrot not straight across. We're going to cut that at an angle. So you're not going to get, let me cut the big end here. We're not going to have a nice little circle here. We'll have one in there that's a circle, but we're going to cut this on a nice angle, make this oblong, and carrot we want to cut a little bit thinner, just because it is such a tough vegetable. In order to get it cooked through properly, that's good enough. So we got nice pieces like that. Over there. And of course, when you get down to a nub like this, instead of worrying about cutting your fingers because things can slip and rock, we're just going to cut this top down like that. It changes the shape a little bit, but we're only going to chew it up and mix it all together. So there we go. I ain't too picky, make it a little bit more rustic. Like I said, we got some bean sprouts right here. We got a little bit of yellow onion. So nice long slivers. Simply cut like that. Throw that in there. And we got some green onion for a little bit of a different little bit of onion taste. Now people would call it a scallion. I just call it a green onion. That's what I do. Of course, we're going to take the outermost leaf off that has been oxidizing and losing its basically dying. It's like just like the outer layer of our skin, pretty much dead. And we're going to cut this basically in the same way. Cut it at an angle for a little bit of interest. Releases more flavor, in my opinion, as well. Nice and roughly. So basically, here we are. We are done with that. Like I said, and we also got something that a lot of people don't ever put in there. Got a water chestnut. Drain the water off. I'm going to throw a little bit of that in there. Now this, of course, is more than what one person would normally eat, so we're just going to get back on, and we will take care of that in a little bit. Big Houston, how you doing, sir? Welcome in. Now, Big Houston did make a complaint 4 or 5 days ago. I went on his channel, was watching his live once, several days ago, and he made a little complaint that every time he watches my channel, watches the live stream here, that I make him hungry. Well, I'm not really going to apologize for that one, but hopefully you had something to eat already, and or you're about to have something to eat. The water chestnuts, they have a really mild flavor, but they have a little bit of, crunch like you get from a good apple. So you got that little bit of texture, which I enjoy. I do enjoy that. So we can clean our cutting board, take that off the side. All right, so basically all our vegetables are prepped. You can put peppers and tomatoes and, squash, pumpkin, zucchini, whatever vegetable you want in your stir fry, you can put in. There's no rules for a stir fry. You want to put, I wish I had, and I was looking for the past several days, and even here in Fort Worth, Texas, I used Instacart to get a few of these ingredients from the Albertsons near here, and they delivered it right to the truck. I recommend it. But there was no place, and I called to every store I could find around here that I could get through Instacart or would deliver. Nobody had pork belly. If I could have gotten 2 pounds of pork belly, this would be even better. But can't always get what you want. My world, my way. Helen, how you doing? And King and Queen Stacking, thanks for coming in. I appreciate it. So we got to stick our cup of dirty water out the way. Hopefully we don't spill it. That's the biggest issue with being on the truck. No room whatsoever. Well, pork belly is basically where raw bacon comes from, where bacon comes from. They take it and they cure it, they smoke it, they season it, blah, blah, blah. The last time I got pork belly, I was in Gillette, Wyoming, at the Albertsons there near the Pilot in Gillette, Wyoming. So, but what I really need to find is a good butcher, near my sister's house, get 3 or 4 2-pound slabs of pork belly. So every time I go back there, I can pick one up, put it in the refrigerator, let it thaw out, then do my butchering to make lardons, make chashu, basically a rolled marinated pork for my ramen. Make squares out of some of it. That way, I always have several different things that I can use for other recipes, which is always a good thing. All right. So we got our pot stickers nice and steamed up, so they're nice and cooked through. We are going to take a little bit of time here. We're going to pan fry them to give them a little bit of color, a little bit of crunch, and a little bit extra flavor. We're going to take a little bit of this green onion here to cook on top of it. We're going to add a little tiny bit of soy sauce, a little bit of black pepper on top of it while it's cooking, which is not normal what most Japanese would do with gyoza. Usually you either steam them or you pan fry them, you serve them, then you put sauce or any other topping on afterwards. Even with my 10 years of living in Japan and loving the cuisine, loving the culture, growing up in that culture, somewhat, there's still ways I like to do it. And, there's no gyoza police, no dumpling police to say I can't. So there we go. So we got a little bit of a lean on our pan here. So I'm going to stick that up out the way. Unfortunately, we have to kind of level this out here with a little folded towel to get that as level as I can get it. Spaghetti and meatballs. Well, I think I found out why the pasta maker did not work. I think I'd made a double recipe of flour, but only added a single recipe's worth of water. I think that might have been the mistake I made. C'est la vie. But I think I'm going to give it another test this week off camera to see if that was the issue. If it's working fine, then I think we might do pasta live again. Maybe next week. We'll see what recipe comes up. Oh, okay. So a little bit of water chestnut. It comes in a nut, usually about yay big around. Looks like, it says, a chestnut. Golden, brown on the outside. You take the shell off. You take the meat out. They typically boil it or steam it. Got a little bit of a sweetness to it. Actually, a little bit of a texture of an apple or a good, fresh pear. Well, Wanda, we're going to be doing the gyoza in this one, right? And then when we do the stir fry, we're going to use our little mini wok. I washed out my other one, stuck it up here. So we got our other wok here ready to go. I have 2 of these. Which, this little 8-inch wok is almost perfect size for the truck. Now, I wish I had a big, 25, 30-inch wok that I can throw everything in and flame it up and do everything, but constraints of the truck. So, a touch of olive oil. Not common, but I don't have any peanut oil on me, so there you go. So here's our steamed gyoza. Probably should have brushed this with a little bit of oil, but I didn't, so. Got to kind of scoop it out there. Like I said, I gotta give me a little bamboo stick and repair this, but we'll wait on that. Stick that out the way right there. Make sure we don't kick that. So we're going to kind of just fry those a little bit, get a little bit of color on them. We're not going to be too fancy with it. We're going to turn the heat down just a little bit. So we're just going to get that little bit of brown on them. You can see, I don't know if you can see that right there. Get these other ones flipped around here. You can see we got a little bit of color on them. We don't need a lot. All right, so we're going to turn that down a little bit more. Little quick thing of black pepper. A little bit of soy sauce. We're going to put a little bit of a glaze on them, kind of like a barbecue sauce would do. Give that a quick toss. Get that one flipped over. There we go. There we go. And we got to. What do I do with the other bowl? Well, the other bowl's got chicken in it. And so we're going to let the water that's in the soy sauce evaporate. Domo arigato, sir. Yes, sir. Thank you very much. Non desu ka? Pardon me. It's been too long since I've actually spoken any Japanese. You got to forgive me. So that particular phrase is slipping. All right, so we got a little bit of color on that. We're gonna throw those in the pan here and on the plate here. Let those sit for a second. Stick that there. And we're gonna find a place to put this. So we're gonna set that right over here. Out the way. Hopefully that doesn't spill. So we got our wok here. We're going to get that fired on up. Grab another clean towel here. We're going to kind of pre-season the pan here a little bit. Now this does have a bit of non-stick coating on it, which I wish it didn't have this non-stick coating because it breaks down, but we're going to kind of help it along with a little bit of olive oil there. Get that oil into the pores while this pan gets hot. First thing we're going to do, of course, is a little bit of the chicken. We're not going to do all the chicken at once. We're going to do this in a couple of stages here. So, there we go. Get that off. We're going to get our spatula here. Grab a little bit of rice, because this isn't going to take long to cook. So everything's going to be fairly nice and warm by the time while we're done. So we're just going to throw that in there. Get that lid away. So plate is half ready. I know the light isn't helping, but there we go. So like I said, the little bit of oil that's on there that's coating the surface is going to Oh, you mean nani. Nani. N-A-N-I. If you're translating to an English, there, you would say nani desu ka. What is it? There we go. All right, so there we go. A little bit of oil in there. And so we want, normally in a household kitchen, you get this as ripping hot as you can get it. You would get this as hot as you can get it. We're going to throw about half of that chicken in there, I think. There we go. Set that off to the side. A little sticky on the hands here, so we're going to wipe that off real quick. Put that towel around. Plenty of oil in there. Get those things separated. Keep them moving so they don't stick. About to cornstarch will, help with the texture. There we go. And we got, let me just out the way a tiny bit here. There we go. Okay. I'll let that cook just a sec. There we go. We're going to get ourselves a clove of garlic. Fresh garlic. I mean, I do have some minced garlic in there, but I like fresh and whenever possible. So we're just going to peel this. Put that right in the garlic press there. Just a little bit of garlic. Just get a little bit of flavor. And plus the health aspects of garlic as well. We're going to throw in a little bit of carrot. Just a couple pieces. Our bean sprouts, a little bit of that. Our yellow onion. Our water chestnut. Bit of the green onion. And a good little bit of a mix of the white part of the bok choy and the green leaf of the bok choy. A little bit of red pepper flake. A little bit more of the black pepper. And if things wouldn't escape, would be a lot better off. And the chicken has some good browning on it, so it's got a nice appearance. We are not really attempting to cook the vegetables through. I don't like mushy vegetables. A little bit of soy sauce. I just want the vegetables warmed through. Go. And the thing is just to get them hot, just to get them warm through, and you're good to go. Now the amount of soy sauce and type of soy sauce you use and what other seasonings you might have. Let me turn the AC on here. Get a little bit hot in here. There we go. There we go. So we got a nice little plate here. Set that right there, I think. And a little bit of that soy sauce is still liquid, so that'll soak right into the rice there. And you can add peanuts, you can add tamarind, you can do curry, paste, and all kinds of different flavors that you may want to do. Yeah, here we go. We got to get something to eat with. My wooden Japanese chopsticks. Might as well go all the way. And thank you there, Roland. I do appreciate it. A little thumbs up never hurts anybody, I think. Alberto, I hope you're enjoying Florida. But here we go. Gonna stir fry some pork and vegetable dumplings on top of some rice. Super simple, super simple. But the thing is, I could go to a local Chinese place and get something similar, but it'll never be the way I want it, which is always the big deal. So, little water chestnut. See how it gets a little bit more of that color from the soy sauce. That crispness. That texture is what you want. Little piece of the chicken. I mean, looks like you grilled it like a steak. So that was this week's. Woo! I think all the peppers came on that one. So not too bad for a quick meal. Simple, easy, more time to prepare it than it does to cook it, but well worth the time and effort. So this is going to be a short one this week because it is such a simple meal. It's like making a peanut butter jelly sandwich. You know, it takes more to make it than it does to actually eat it. But a few ingredients, put in what you want, how you want it, and you're good to go. So of course, being in the modern world, let's take our little picture of it. Here we go. Bing, bang, boom. And we'll post this to the old Facebook page there. And if you have not been, if you're not signed up to the Facebook page, I have started a food channel, a food group on Facebook called Unapologetic Semi-Cooking. So if you would like to go see that, I'd appreciate that. Big truck cooking 1 and 2, healthy cooking on a truck, cooking out of a semi. No, like I said, I belong to several groups. Mr. Jeff White, how you doing, sir? Wanda Wyatt, My World, My Way, Helen, Umberto, DJ Bull of the Woods, Big Houston, Margaret, Linda, Wanda, everybody, thank you very much for joining me. Let me see here. Let me see if I can get the Facebook page up here. Get the link for you. So I'll put the Facebook link up there. If you're not already on the Facebook, you'll see a little bit more about, of how I do things. Let's see, copy address. There we go. Let's post that right there. There is the link to my Facebook page. Of course, that comes along with the attitude, the opinion, the viewpoints, what I want. Hungry for the Road is my quote-unquote cooking channel for YouTube. I'm trying to figure out how I'm going to be able to do that, but being as I'm so far behind with regular video on YouTube, that may take a while to get up, but I already have the channel up there, so there you go. But there's a Facebook link. Join me there. I'll post a link on Facebook for the cooking group. You'll see a little bit more of the food that I buy and the food that I make, and we'll go from there. But I want to say thank you all very much for joining me with this redo of week 13. We're really in week 14, but there you go. Now, I would like to make another plea here that I tried this with episode number 10, but for some reason I got no participation. So, week number 14, next week, of course, it's 5 dishes I'm going to select. You vote for it as per usual. Week number 15, I would like to have your suggestions for a meal to where myself and Christina will vote upon, and we will make the winner the featured meal for the week. Please bear in mind, I do not have an oven, but I will attempt virtually everything else with these little mini woks / pots, the Instapot, panini grill, and a cast iron pan. I will attempt to make anything that you can suggest. But week number 15 will be what you suggest, and hopefully we have more response than we had the last time, which was 0. So hopefully we can do that. So here's our little pot sticker. See a nice glaze on there with the soy sauce. If you're not a fan of salt, this is not the recipe for you, because I love salt. I love salty taste, and I am not afraid to use it. And when that soy sauce concentrates, it definitely increases that salt flavor. So there we go. So, like I said, next week, 5 more selections. I will try to post that as early in the week as possible, but we'll go from there. So, God bless. Thank you all very much. I do appreciate you all coming in. This is a short one, but simple meal, simple dish, so there you go. Beef stroganoff. Kangaroo steaks. Slightly difficult to get my hands on kangaroo. Maybe if I get kangaroo, we'll do kangaroo stroganoff. There you go. And Christina there is egging everybody on to really put the screws to me. So, but we will, like I said, make your suggestion for week 15. And I will do my darndest to do it at least as good as what you would do yourself for that recipe. So, there's too many things out there I have never done that I am fully willing to try. Oh, I also have an immersion, a sous vide machine, so we got that option as well. I have blenders, I have choppers, I have knives and forks and spatulas and spoons and a slight refrigeration capability. But give me your suggestions. Let me know what you would like to see, and we'll go from there. And just like I do for, the regular votes, I will be putting down the week 15, recommendations. And we will... No, Margaret, no. We are not doing that. That is one thing I'm not doing. I may be from Baltimore, but I know what the hell those are. And yes, I've had cojones, the true Spanish bullfighter cojones. I've had that before from a Spaniard who immigrated to America a long time ago. I know what they are. I'm not doing that. Brains, cojones, liver, and watermelon. Those are the dishes that I will not, I can categorically deny everybody. So, but apart from that, I think we'd be safe to make your suggestions. We'll vote on it. We'll see what we can do to get the ingredients. We'll do our best to try to replicate what you would do with that recipe and go from there. Other than that, I'm going to eat this bowl here, and I will make me a second bowl because I still have a bit of chicken. I still have some vegetables left. Hell, I could take this and make it actually a soup. But apart from that, we had a good meal. I thank you all for joining me. I appreciate it. So we will go from there. So like I said, God bless. Thank you all for joining me. I appreciate it. We will see you next Sunday, maybe Saturday. I might do a cooking video like I used to, as long as we can get back in those pardon me. Now that I have the internet 24/7, and we'll go from there. Other than that, tune into the Facebook channel, the Facebook page, posting meals there through the week. Check out Christina's page on there as well. And everybody else, check out their YouTube channels, check out their Facebook pages. Make those connections if you want to. It'd be nice to make connections with people around the world. I appreciate it. Hamburger vegetable soup is what I'm making for tomorrow. Well, I'm close to that. I'm making chili tomorrow. I got some peppers. I got the onions. I got the beans. I got the hamburger. I got the spices. I got the Instant Pot. There we go. Pork chop gravy over rice. We will write all that down and go from there. Like I said, continue to make your votes, make your suggestions. We will do what we can. So, thank you. God bless. Good night. We will see you next week.